Hi there, this is Pranav from DBS Diary. I hope you are doing great. So this is continuation of my training session. So in this particular session, we'll talk about mainly backup and restore. So DB refresh and prerequisite. So what all things should already be there when you want to restore database from prod to non-prod or from one environment to other environment, right? Then what are the phases in Sybase backup? So you might be knowing there are three phases. Okay, so phase number 1, 2 and 3. So we'll talk about that, and we'll also see in the backup log how it is displayed and how it works in case of full backup and how does it show in terms of tran backup, right? And then we'll talk about RPO and RTO. Then what is point in time recovery? So here we'll talk more in terms of the types of backup and then how do we really use that to arrive at point in time recovery. Okay, so here I'm not talking about the one which is restore up to one point, but I'm talking about one complete log file or tran file and one complete cumulative backup. I had one video which was published some time back, maybe a year ago or before that. So wherein I have showed you can exactly load the data up to a specific time. So suppose you had a disaster at 12:15 p.m. right? So you can load data until 12:14:59 or 12:14 p.m. like that you can do. Okay, and so backup and recovery. So what all things are there as part of backup and recovery? So what I have done is I have prepared set of commands which we will go through, and then we'll show you like backup and recovery, the prerequisite and other things, right? So I will show you from the scratch, like you create database at the target and then how the sizing should be done and how do we really do that, right? So as you know, I have two instances, so ASE1 and ASE2. So let me log into my lab. Okay, so if I do show server, so here you will see I have two data server here. You can see data server. One is ASE2, which is there in OPT Sybase, and then I have another one which is ASE1, which is in OPT SAP. So how do we really work is we do echo $Sybase and then we'll see where we are. So we are in OPT SAP. OPT SAP means we are in the ASE1, right? So now let's log in here, ISQL -s ASE1 -USA -W. So I'll open two sessions, one for ASE1 and one for ASE2, and we'll take the backup at ASE1 and we'll restore at the ASE2. Okay. So this is about ASE1. Now let's go to the other instance. So here let me show you again. So let me do echo $Sybase, and here you will see it is OPT Sybase. So in OPT Sybase, let me do show server one more time here. So you can see OPT Sybase means it is nothing but ASE2. Okay. So I will log into ASE2. Okay. Okay, clear? Now we'll do sp underscore help db. So here there is no user defined database created. Okay, whereas on the other instance I have one database which is user db where the size is 110 MB. Okay, now if I want to restore database from here to the from ASE1 to ASE2, how do we go about that, right? So first of all, we have to create database. Okay, so let's go now. I showed you the size is 110 MB, right? So if you do sp underscore help db and user db, so you will see that the data is 100 and log is 10. Okay, so let us create the database on the other instance. So let's create data file. Okay, so data device, which means restore data of 100 MB. So let's go ahead and do it here. Okay, so this is done. Now we'll create for the log. So 100 MB and 20 MB. So I am putting 120 MB of device. Okay, and now what we'll do, we'll create one database and we'll give 90 MB of data and 10 MB of log. Okay. So it is actually 100 MB. So will it be able to restore the database? Okay, so we'll see. So now let's go ahead and create the database. So database is created. You will see it will be created. Okay, restore DB is now online. Okay, now what we will do? Now we will take the load, but before loading we have to have the dump, right? So let's take the dump now on the ASE1. Okay, so let's go to ASE1 now. Dump database user DB to this specific path and see how it is. So dump is completed. Okay, now database, I think we already have database here, which is restore DB, right? Now what we'll do now, just log into ASE2 and let's restore this database. Okay, now what we have created in the ASE2 is 90 MB data and 10 MB log, whereas the size on the ASE1 is 100 MB plus 10 MB. Okay, so this is the prerequisite that the data and log should be exactly same, or it could be even larger on target, should not be less. Okay, so currently it should not load. Okay, so it is saying that data on dump will not fit into the current database, need 110 MB by database. So this is what is the error that you will get. So this is kind of one of the prerequisite. And another thing is you should have exclusive access to the database that you are trying to load. There should be no open session. There should be no session which is using that database. That is another one. Okay. So now what we will do is, so we have taken here the one that we have allocated is 90 MB data and 10 MB log. So log we are fine. Now we have to extend data for 10 MB, right? So it will become 100 MB, right? So let us extend this now and see. So this is done. Okay, now if we have to restore database, okay, let us do this and let's see what happens. Okay, so it started loading. So load is completed, right? Now it will not make it online, so you have to make it online, right? So if you want, you can make it online. So online database restore DB. Okay, so this will do all the thing. So online process also takes very long when you have so many operations which has gone and you have not taken it any tran backup or any other successive backup, or you have so many open transactions. So in that not open transaction, I mean this database is from the source side, right? So if you have if you have many transactions which is not committed or which has been committed, or it was something which was not backed up. So I'm talking about the full backup, right? So full backup contains 3 phases which I talked about earlier, right? So tran backup is one part of that. So if the tran backup was not taken, the log was not truncated or it was not backed up. So in that case, your loading will also take time, dump will also take time, and even making it online will take longer. Okay, so that is something which you have to keep in mind. Okay, so online database we have done. Now we have 10 MB extra on the device. So what if the size becomes a little bit bigger? So let's extend this database now. Okay, and see what happens. So let's go to master. Okay, now extend database by 10 MB for the log, right? So now if you see the sp_help db restore db, so you will see that the size is 120 MB. So your data is 100, which is matching with the source, but then log is 20 MB, right? So 120 MB, but you can still load database. There is no issue in that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So if the size is something which is smaller, you will have problem. If the size is same, then there is no issue, but even if it is a little bit bigger, there is no concern on that. So let's do that just to show you. Okay, so it's loading. Load is completed, so now you can do online database restore DB. Okay, done. Now let us talk about something more now. Now this is about the phase in the backup, right? So phase we have to go to ASE1 because this is where we have taken the backup, right? So here if you go to and if you open the backup log, so okay, so here you will see that dump phase number 1 completed, phase number 2 completed, and phase number 3 completed. Okay, so you will see that same thing here phase number 1, phase number 2, and phase number 3. Now you can ask, what is the phase number 1, what is the phase number 2, and what is the phase number 3? What if I want to check this test run? Okay, so select star from test run. This will not be available because this was taken after the cumulative backup was run. Clear? Okay, now we have to reach to the point wherein that table test run is available along with the entries that we had done in the test underscore cumulative. How to do that? Now to do that, we have two options. One option is cumulative plus tran, and second option is do only tran. Use only tran from the last full backup. But then, as I mentioned, so tran backup has to be in the sequence, whereas in case of cumulative, it is not dependent on that. But if you want to have sequence of cumulative plus tran, so you need to find out the time of the backup which is taken, right? So let us do this. So here what we'll do, here we'll load on the full dump, then the cumulative 3 which was